So here's an interesting story. So Larry David, the guy who looks very similar to Bernie Sanders, played him on SNL, and it turns out they're literally cousins. Turns out he's a pretty big a-hole, and I was not aware of this. Now he says Bernie Sanders should drop out of the 2020 race. Now he says, I feel he should drop out because he's too far behind. He can't get the nomination. And I think, it's no time to fool around here. Everybody's got to support Biden. And that was his full quote. So the problem that I have with this statement and this argumentation or this belief is that what would Bernie Sanders just dropping out now? What difference would that make in terms of consolidating Democratic support for Joe Biden? What would happen with Bernie supporters that would make them all of a sudden go to Joe Biden from him doing absolutely nothing? Nothing changes from Joe Biden, but all of a sudden because Bernie Sanders dropped out, well, now you got all his support. That's not going to happen. Like if Bernie Sanders drops tomorrow, I'm not going to all of a sudden vote for Joe Biden. There's no way I'll vote for Joe Biden unless he wants to do something. Now, here's the question that I have. Seriously, think about this. What has Joe Biden done to unite the party? What has Joe Biden done to attempt to reach out to me? I'm a progressive Bernie Sanders supporter. What has Joe Biden done to reach out to me as a voter? Because I've already made it clear, beating Donald Trump is not my primary goal because for me it's a cyclical problem. Trump is a symptom, not the problem. He's not the underlying disease. He's just a symptom of it. And so you elect Obama, a neoliberal milquetoast loser, for 8 years. Then you run an even bigger loser, and you lose. You're like, whoa, what happened? Oh my gosh, my brain explodes. It's so obvious. And we have the same dumb cycle over and over again, where you have, Gore running with Joe Lieberman or Dumbo Carey and his flip-flopping, and, then you keep losing. You're like, oh my God, why do we keep losing? And it's just so embarrassing. And so I've already made that clear. Bernie's already made that clear. That's not their primary goal. Corporate Democrats, that's their primary goal. That's not my primary goal. I could care less if we beat Trump with some garbage Democrat. Because what? We're going to have it back in 4 years. Anything that he's going to do in those 4 years, all going to get repealed. Just like all of Obama's shit that he did in 8 years got repealed. All right, Dodd-Frank, gone. Affordable Care Act, destroyed. DACA, done. All of this stuff. Iran deal, done. Israel-Palestine relations, done. All of this crap. KO'd. A lot of these things happened in like the first 2 years. Some of them even in the first year. All right? That's the problem. You put on a Band-Aid, real easy to take that off, isn't it? So that's the problem. And so you need to do something for me. You need to do something. All you've done is spit in my face. You come out and say, oh, we're literally in the face of a global pandemic. And you're like, no, I don't want Medicare for all. Well, then screw you, dude. I don't want to vote for you then. That's my litmus test. But if you don't want to move left on literally anything, you don't want to adopt any positions, or if you want me to vote for you, you can choose Bernie Sanders as your vice president, then I'll vote for you, or Nina Turner, but I prefer to be Bernie. If you decide to do that, and by the way, if Joe Biden were to decide to pick Bernie Sanders as vice president, I mean, that's a surefire victory, Hillary, if she had just now this isn't realistic, Hillary hated Bernie Sanders, so there's no chance she was going to do this, but, she could have chosen him as vice president, and they would have swept easily because Bernie supporters would have been together with Hillary, and then Bernie supporters would have pulled some independents. So that's an easy, surefire way to win. You get the progressive and the centrist vote. That's an easy way to win. So if you really want to defeat Donald Trump, which you're saying we don't want to defeat Donald Trump, which you're right. I don't really care. If you really want to do that, pick Bernie Sanders as vice president. If not, you're going to suffer the same fate. Young people don't care about you. You've already said you don't have any empathy for young people or millennials. We've already seen, you've told us to vote for Donald Trump. You've told us to vote for a different candidate. We've seen it on multiple occasions. So we're just going to take your advice. We're going to take your instructions, and we're going to go with it. So Bernie, let me make this crystal clear. Bernie Sanders dropping out tomorrow isn't all of a sudden going to boost Joe Biden in any way, shape, or form at all.